The chicken is in the pot, over.
Cook it.
Into attack. Target is acquired and coming down.
Damn it, why doesn't he fix this road?
Boom. Hey there. Sorry about the voice. I have a really deep voice because I've had a sore throat for like 2 days now, and for some reason what came with that is this really deep voice. I've come to talk to you today about a film called Clear and Present Danger, which is very good. It's one of the Tom Clancy films, the Jack Ryan universe, of which I have 4 of the older films. Actually, some of All Fears is slightly newer, but Ben Affleck's younger in that. Here we got Hunt for Red October. I think might have been the first one that was filmed. That was so the main character Jack Ryan in that is played by Alec Baldwin, and that's actually directed by John McTiernan, who's a very good director. But anyway. And there's another film, Patriot Games, where Harrison Ford plays Jack Ryan, which is also pretty good, but I'm not going to be talking about that one today. This one sort of occurs between them all and is the best, and Harrison Ford again plays Jack Ryan, this character. Tom Clancy, his name gets attributed to a lot of games and things. So for instance, I've got a game called Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon, which is an oldie, and I don't know why it gets attached to Tom Clancy's name. They just use his name as publicity on a lot of like military shooter games, like Rainbow Six and such, but he's kind of unconnected to them. He writes these weird kind of semi-alternative universe political thrillers where some parts of history happen completely different from ours, but then some parts of history are exactly the same as ours after that. Like, there's a war between Russia and China where America is on Russia's side, I think, and after that September 11th happens as normal. It's very strange, stuff like that happens. This is also an exercise in being concise, since my last video took like so much editing just to get it down to like 50 minutes or something from being over an hour of footage. So I'm gonna say slightly less this time, I think. Although Good Kill was very good. So, Tom Clancy's Clear and Present Danger. Now if you're into Star Wars, this is quite fun because you've basically got like Han Solo having a chat with his best friend Darth Vader through a lot of the film. James Earl Jones, the voice of Darth Vader, is in this, and obviously Harrison Ford. So Jack Ryan, the character played by Harrison Ford, is a CIA analyst who starts off at the low end of things in the CIA, and eventually through the books, of which there are many right now, eventually makes it to become President of the United States of America. In this one, it's his semi-early days. So let's see if I can remember. The film starts out with this US Coast Guard kind of mini warship, like chasing down this luxury yacht thing, and the Coast Guard guys who come on board the yacht to investigate find that there's been some murders on the yacht, and the people who've been murdered are one of the president's friends, but they find out that they've been tied to the drug cartels, and that the guy who'd been murdered has been making money off the drug cartels. When the president hears this, he kind of wants revenge for his friend's death, but also uses an excuse to start a war against the drug cartels. And so he tells James Cutter, who is one of the 3 bad guys in this film, his national security advisor, that the drug cartels represent a clear and present danger, title of the film, to America, and that they should chase them down. And then a kind of secret drug war begins. So at this point, James Earl Jones' character, Admiral James Greer, who is also in Patriot Games and Hunt for Red October, He's got cancer, basically.
You know you're gonna die, and you think, that's all right. You had a family that loved you. You had a job that you thought made a difference. And then you see this.
It's kind of sad because he ends up dying in this film, his character, who's really a cool character, basically, and Jack Ryan's friend. And because he's dying, he appoints Jack Ryan to be like the head of the CIA, or is it the deputy head? And his first job is to go and get funding for CIA operations in Colombia. And he doesn't know what the president's got going on in Colombia at the time. So he just, he asked for more funding for this thing without really knowing what it's about. And I think at one point he's asked by the committee, so there'll be no troops then? And he goes, no troops, I swear. So then Cutter goes back to the CIA and he enlists the help of Ritter, who is a director of operations in the CIA, quite high up, as well as Jack Ryan. So he kind of shares an office with Jack Ryan, sort of thing. They're in the same building together, supposedly working together. And Cutter tells Ritter the secret mission he's got to take any means necessary to start this war against the drug cartels of South America. And Jack Ryan doesn't know about this. He's all kept in the dark, even though they work in the same place. So at this point, Ritter and Cutter are this bad guy duo on the American side. Ritter enlists the help of John Clark, who's played by Willem Dafoe. He's like the leader of a black ops team, or he's hired to be this special ops army team that's meant to be doing the hits on the Colombian drug cartels. One of the guys on the army team that's hired is a guy played by Raymond Cruz, who you may recognise from many other films, military films, and also he's in Alien Resurrection. When John Clark's putting this team together, there's a cool scene where he's looking for the best sniper for the job for his team, and this soldier guy he's testing out is like in this big grassy savanna field, and he's got to snipe the target near John Clark and sneak up to him from really far away through the grass, while he sends two soldiers out to try and detect this guy hiding in the grass, and they can't find him.
Shit! Move your team 2 meters to the left. Stop. Touch that light-colored grass. Sniper at your feet.
Nothing here, Sergeant Major.
The sniper sneaks really close to them, and they're like looking for him, like, where the hell is he? He must be really far away. And then they hear ping, sniper bullet hits right beside their heads, and like, god damn, that was really close. Where the fuck is he? Alright, show yourself. And he gets up and he's left like a trail of like litter or like hamburger wrappers or something in his wake.
Your left. Sniper at the feet. Well, what is it?
Get lunch here, Sergeant Major.
McDonald's, quarter pounder.
With cheese.
And he goes, soldier, how the hell did you sneak up? Says something like, soldier attempts to approach the target by being a sneaky bastard, sir. And he goes, do you know what the penalty for littering in the state of California is? And he goes, sir, yes, sir.
Damn! All right, you won this one. Come on out. Soldier, how did you get that close to me?
Sniper! Approach the instructor by being a sneaky bastard! Sergeant Major!
You know the fine for littering in the state of California, Chavez?
Yes, sir!
That scene and the bombing scene later is probably as Ghost Recon or gamey, like Tom Clancy gamey, that the film actually gets. It's got a lot of more acting scenes in it, so it's not like mostly an action film. Although there is a fantastic action scene in the middle of the movie It's not really like any games, Tom Clancy games especially, that I know of. There's probably some game that does something. It's an ambush scene in a street. Anyway, we'll get to that. Now at this point we're interested... Wait. Now at this point we're introduced into the drug cartels, and the drug cartel boss that is mainly focused on is called Ernesto Escobedo. He's the main one who receives heat from the president's military force blowing up his operations. And he's like, what the hell's going on? And it turns out that this drug cartel guy has this spy working for him, like his own intelligence officer in Colombia, who is played by the amazing Joaquim de Almeida, who in the film they kind of say is meant to be like the anti-Jack Ryan. So he's the third bad guy that you meet, and then you've got Cutter and Ritter in America, and then in Colombia you've got this intelligence officer for the cartel guy, Escobedo, called Felix Cortez, played by Joaquim de Almeida, who, by the way, is excellent in this, and I think he's in Desperado. My memory might not be serving me right there, but he's also excellent in 24, the TV series with Jack Bauer and that. Series 3, he's another fantastic kind of Mexican drug lordish guy. So Escobedo has his funding frozen by the FBI, and he's like furious, and he gets Felix Cortez to set up a plan to kill, like assassinate this guy in the FBI who's frozen his funds. The guy from the FBI is coming to Colombia. I can't remember why he's coming to Colombia. There's something to set the funding deal. Basically he comes with Jack Ryan on the plane to Colombia. They go everywhere in this convoy of like black government cars to try and drive to the location where they need to be. But Felix Cortez organizes this horrifically large kind of Colombian rebel militia force with like motorcycle gangs and like rooftop guys with RPGs and stuff, and they attack his convoy. And this is the big action scene of the movie I was talking about. You know, you've got these government cars driving in the street with FBI guys, and Jack Ryan's trying to protect this FBI dude, and he's got a ton of bodyguards, but there are guys on the rooftops firing down at them, and they're like running from street to street. It's pretty fantastic sequence, and it turns out that Jack Ryan, I think, is the only one who survives out of all the people who arrive there.
Hey, what the hell?
So I think Jack Ryan's just like, oh, the drug cartel guys have ambushed us. What the fuck is all this about? And he's invested in trying to find out what the hell this assassination was. At this point, Cutter finds a way of meeting with Felix Cortez, and I think they have a phone conversation. And Cortez says he has aspirations of killing his boss, Ernesto Escobedo, the drug lord, and taking over the cartel for himself. And so Cortez makes a deal with Cutter, basically, to help him in his drug war by taking over the cartel for himself and reducing its impact on America. And Cutter agrees to this. But what part of the deal is that Felix Cortez asks Cutter if he can subdue the soldiers that Cutter sent in earlier for the drug war in exchange for this deal to go through, and Cutter says yes. So basically they've sent this Black Ops soldier team in, and the same people who sent the team in are letting them die, under the president's authority as well. So at this point Cutter tells Ritter that he should erase all information that the soldiers have ever been in Colombia, and keep the operation secret, and like take away all links to the president. And at this point, Jack Ryan's got suspicious, and he thinks that Ritter's up to something, and he tries to hack his computer by going down to the server room in the CIA building and enlisting the help of the dude from Ally McBeal. I can't remember his name. You'd recognise him if you see him. He's pretty cool. He's like a hacker in this, and he tells him in this very tense scene to like hack the computer of Ritter, who's in the same building. So there's this like covert spy game going on inside the same building between all these different people, like, and he said, well, if I'm going to hack his computer, he's in his office while I'm hacking his computer, and he'll see that I'm hacking him unless you distract him.
Yeah.
Bob, Jack Ryan here.
Good morning, Jack.
Maybe we should spend some time, get to know each other a little better. You play tennis? Tennis. You play tennis?
Yeah, I play tennis.
Hour before we start work or something.
Jack,
Yeah.
computer theft is a serious crime.
So are crimes against the Constitution.
Ritter realizes his computer's being hacked from someone downstairs, and then he gets into this conflict with Jack Ryan. There's this scene where it's like, I found you out, man. Like, I'm gonna nail you to the wall for this. And he waves the printout that he's got of the guy's PC, where he's found out this thing called Operation Reciprocity, which is the Black Ops mission the president authorized. And Ritter goes, what do you think you've got there? He goes, well, you're going to jail for this. You're going to jail. I know what I've got here. And Ritter goes to a safe and pulls out a piece of paper and goes, I don't think so. Do you have one of these, Jack? It's a get out of jail free card signed by the president himself. And so Jack suddenly realizes this is president orchestrated. This is authorized by the highest level of government.
You're going to jail, pal.
What is that? What do you think you have there?
You broke the law.
You are such a Boy Scout.
Who authorized this?
I'm sure they'll ask you that.
I have an autographed get out of jail free card. The president authorizes the Deputy Director CIA, Robert Ritter, to conduct Operation Reciprocity.
You don't have one of these, do you, Jack?
So Jack Ryan tries to find a way to undo all this mess, and he goes to Colombia to meet with Clark, the guy whose soldier team got massacred by Cutter and Ritter on the president's orders after being sent there by the president as well. They've all been wiped out except for the sniper guy, and some people have been captured in a Colombian prison. Jack Ryan goes with Clark and the sniper guy to break out the soldiers and try and expose the secret mission to show that this has all been happening and that these soldiers died. But while he's trying to break the guys out of the Colombian prison, Jack Ryan and co get chased out by Felix Cortez and his soldiers who try to kill him. And at one point, I don't know the chronology, I got mixed up back there, but there's a scene where Jack Ryan finds his way to have a meeting with the drug lord Escobedo, in which he tells him that Felix Cortez wants to assassinate him and take over his drug organization. And just as he tells him that, Felix, who has this kind of sniper operative working for him, assassinates Escobedo in the room with Jack. After rescuing the soldiers, Jack Ryan makes his way back to the United States and decides to go to the White House and confront the president and Cutter one-on-one. And he tells the president, look, I know what you've covered up, I know what the fuck you're doing. And the president tries to like bargain with him and like blackmail him into staying quiet and stuff.
Some things have gone on here that I'm just becoming aware of.
And American soldiers and innocent civilians are dead because of it.
I never ordered
No,
any...
don't even think about playing that game with me. I will not let you dishonor their memories by pretending you had nothing to do with it.
How dare you come in here and lecture me?
How dare you, sir?
How dare you come into this office and bark at me like some little junkyard dog? I am the President of the United States.
It is my duty to report this matter to the Senate Oversight Committee.
You're not going to do that. You've got yourself a chip in the big game now. You're going to tuck that away.
I'm sorry, Mr. President. I don't dance.
Jack Ryan's like, I don't dance. And he leaves the room after having a heated argument with the president and decides to testify against him. Anyway, this is my favourite one of the Jack Ryan movies. I've seen all of the ones that have been released except for that new one, Shadow Recruit or whatever, with the Star Trek guy in it. Anyway, the oldies are the best anyway. Anyway, these are fantastic spy movies, like perhaps on the level of Bourne, or even probably better than Bourne, to be honest. It has a lot more kind of acting-based scenes and kind of political intrigue and like misleading the opposition and kind of detection work and lots of like different factions involved in secret cover-ups and things. It's got some brilliant action sequences. It's very kind of real and believable, and it's got great acting from Harrison Ford and from Henry Cazzini. I don't know how you spell how you pronounce that name. Who plays Ritter? He's in the Tudors as one of the bad guys, and James Earl Jones obviously, and Joaquin de Almeida. They're all really excellent in this movie. It's got a bit of humour and it's a fun watch. So that's Clear and Present Danger. Should definitely check that one out. Also, the other Jack Ryan films, you can sort of watch them. I'm not actually sure what the order is. I always thought the order was. It feels like the order is Sum of All Fears, Hunt for Red October, Patriot Games, Clear and Present Danger. But apparently I was told that the Sum of All Fears is meant to be the last one that happens out of all these. But it's like young Ben Affleck and he's like just meeting his girlfriend for the first time, so it doesn't feel like it's the last of the movies. Anyway, if you just watch all those, they are excellent. Patriot Games is the other Harrison Ford Jack Ryan film, and that is also very good. It has Sean Bean in it as the craziest fucking iteration of a Sean Bean character that you've ever seen. Just this insane Irishman on a vengeance spree. Anyway, check that movie out. This isn't my normal voice, so don't get used to it. Cheers.
You play tennis?
Yeah, I play tennis.
Boom.